All right, I'm gonna start waiting on everyone to come on so that we can talk about this very serious issue, and it's to bring awareness and to also have prevention so that you are fully aware of this particular subject, parental alienation. The short term used is PAS, and there are severe terms used also for this. But guys, this is one topic that I am so familiar with by experience, by education. It is the hi guys. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Lisa. Hey Robert. Hey Ange. Guys, by understanding parental alienation, you'll have a better understanding of mental abuse. Hi Heather. Hi Coffee. Hi Heather. My husband's going through this right now, such a sad thing. It really is. It's the most pain a targeted parent. Hi Shahid. Excuse me. That a targeted parent or grandparent has to experience. The pain of parental alienation, unless you know and you have experienced it, you will never understand the pain that this causes the children and the targeted parent or the targeted grandparents in this case. Hi Misty, hi Megan. Hi Leave, but don't leave me. Terry. Hi Terry, I'm saying hi. I promise. I see you guys. So this also will help a lot of people too, because when you're in an abusive relationship, okay, you're trying to protect your children too, right? So there's a fine line between parental alienation, really genuinely protecting your children from the abuser because they're an abuser and you've witnessed them abuse your children. So we're not talking about that. And unfortunately, that's when psychologists have to get involved, and they have to, really be educated in this field to find the symptoms and the signs of parental alienation when it comes to people that are in domestic violence. You have to get your child into counseling immediately. That is to protect yourself. That's for a counselor, a psychologist, guys, that can take the symptoms and decipher it of what the children are really feeling. Because, hi Cajun, my good friend's wife abused him for years. He finally had to leave. Jeez. Hi Deborah. Yes, counseling is a must, guys. So this is very important that if you feel like you're a targeted parent of parental alienation, go and get your child into a counselor, a psychologist, guys. They're the ones that can absolutely decipher this, okay? They can help you if you're in a domestic violence situation and you truly, genuinely feel like your child is in danger. But this, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about parental alienation where it was a once loving parent that had a very close bond with their parent. And now all of a sudden, the child doesn't have that anymore. You are now the enemy. And I call it kidnapping a child's mind. And it's a sad situation and a topic because you're actually mourning the loss of your child. You're mourning them and they're not even passed away, guys. But you feel like you've lost them. So if I don't get to you guys' comment, it's just because I'm trying to be able to get this word out and also bring awareness to. And that if a parent is doing this and you're not aware of doing this, it's also prevention. You know, you have to understand that your child is like a whole puzzle, right? And when you talk about the child's parent in front of the child, no matter how much hate you have for that person, when you do this in front of a child, you're taking pieces of the puzzle away from them. And it's very painful, guys. It's extremely painful. It's painful for the children, and it's also painful for the targeted parent or grandparent in this situation. When I tell you that this is the worst form of emotional abuse you can do to a child, this is. Misty, my ex kidnapped 3 of my kids twice. That's why I had to move, however, to Hawaii, but I'm still fighting to get them with me, and it's complicated. I know Nevada and Colorado law. Yeah. Misty, I'm so sorry. Yes, parental alienation is lack of trust. And you know, it's so sad because here you are, a lot of men, they go through parental alienation. They are targeted more than actual women, guys. But it does happen. And when it happens to the women, 9 times out of 10, it's because you are in an abusive relationship and you are with a narcissist. Only narcissists do this type of behavior to a child. Not caring enough about the child to realize that they're causing their children pain. That is so severe. Now, my advice, if you are in this situation, is stay persistent. Never give up. Never give up, guys. Show you love your children. Call them constantly. Even if they don't pick up that phone and answer to you, you still call them. Because it's showing that you're persistent and it's showing that you love them. And when they say something, say you're getting visitation with your children that are being alienated, and they come over and they act like, oh, it's boring here at your house. I don't like your house, Mom or Dad. It's boring, you know, or they pretend like they're abused. 9 times out of 10, Child Protective Services have to come in, and because there's so much false allegations of abuse, and they're false, and the child is manipulated into believing that it's abuse. It's a very sad, sad topic, guys. And when I tell you that the emotional torture and pain that a parent or grandparent has to experience, it is torture, guys. This pain is beyond comprehensible. Now, they tell you that when a parent loses a child, guys, that they're in mourning, and that's the worst pain you can have is by losing a child, right? Well, how about when a parent loses their child, but their child is still alive? Sophie, I'm 53 years young, still hurting from parental alienation. In my 40s, I learned through therapy that my mom was a narcissist. I didn't know until I learned through my therapist. I'm so sorry, Sophie. Getting too old to hang with Mom. Yes. Narcissist fathers go to court and pay money but sit vacant in court. Yes, Cajun Kevin. Thank God you were in a loving household. Guys, let me tell you, it's kidnapping the child's mind, okay? And it's horrible. So to prevent this, I'm going to answer L. Fallon. Is there a personal thing at Rebecca? Are we just chatting or are we referring to a case? No, we're talking about a serious topic of emotional abuse done to children that a lot of my subscribers ask me, because I am a victim's advocate for parental alienation, child abuse, and domestic violence. Asked me to do a video to talk about this subject, which a lot of people are not aware of and don't even know the name to it. And so my hope in doing this live video is to bring awareness, but also to actually, if you catch yourself doing this, which is kind of hard sometimes when you're in a situation of going through a divorce, or, you know, there's a lot of anger, animosity, and you can't be civil during that time. It's hard, you know, because your kids will say, well, mom cooks better than you, or dad does this better than you. You know, it's hard when they're saying things to not want to say something back. It's extremely hard. But guys, do not say anything back, no matter what the child says to you. And I know that's going to be so hard. You know, like, Dad, your house is boring. Or Mom, your house is boring. Or I hate being here. It's not fun. Like, don't say anything back. Just show love. Because as the child gets older, the child can see for themselves. They start to see this theirself. What Mom said about Dad, well, I never seen that. Well, Mom said Dad did this, but I didn't see Dad ever do that. They start to figure this out on their own, guys. I have 3 children, and all 3 of my children, I'm going to still say, are victims of parental alienation, and they are adults. 1 out of the 3 is back in my life, and for a good 3 years, he was out of my life and then came back into my life because I never gave up. I never gave up, guys. It's horrific. My ex was also abusive. So he had his mother, his sister, and everybody participating in the alienation to my kids. So that when my daughter and my eldest son that are still alienated from me. Hi, Scott. Alienated from me. My daughter would come and she would always, you know, have to pretend like if my other son was in the room, she would act like she hated me in front of him because she was afraid that he would go back and tell her dad. And if we were on a different couch together, she would say, Mom, come over here and lay with me. I said, no, baby, come over here and lay with Mommy over here. No, because if so-and-so comes out, he'll tell Dad. And I don't want it to look like I'm over here with you. Like, how horrible is that, guys? And I even asked my kids, would it be easier if I just gave up? And so you guys didn't have to keep getting badgered? Sorry, I'm going to get emotional. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Ugh. And so my daughter's response was, yeah, Mom, it would be easier for us. As a little child saying that, guys, that's a little child. So, I'm sorry I'm getting emotional. But this is very real. And, it's not right, you know. But I'm very thankful that my other son came back to me because he could see it. He was the strongest. He was the strongest one out of all of them to say, you know what? That's my mom. And mom isn't what dad said and what grandma said and what my aunt said. Mom wasn't doing that. So he could see it for himself. So when I tell you guys, if you are victims of this, there's hope. You just have to keep showing them that you love them. Even as hard as it is to do it, because they can say so many hurtful things to you. Always show love, guys, and never give up. Never give up. Because that's your children. And your children do love you. And I remember when I would call them and they would say mean things to me. And I always said to them, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. And my son would say, but what? I don't feel that way, Mom. But you just said all those things to me. What do you mean you don't feel that way? So that told me there that he really didn't feel that way. It was put in his head. So this is how you have to deal with it, guys. Is that no matter how hard it is, they don't really feel this way. They don't. And so when your child says some horrible, mean things to you, just respond with, I'm sorry you feel this way. Because psychologically it makes them think, but I don't feel this way. They start to think, wait a minute, but I don't feel this way. Sophie, I'm sorry you weren't able to have children medically. I am so sorry. I find it's emotionally draining, anger, rudeness, no talking, emotionally draining. Go right back to say night to my, okay. I'm going back on you guys' comments. Thank you, Carolina. I know, Megan. When it comes to abuse of any type of sort, that's what tugs my heartstrings. That's why I am a victim's advocate, guys. It's horrible what the children have to go through. Amy, I can't thank you enough for bringing this topic to light. I left my story in a comment on your earlier video, but I want to say that Rebecca's words and her pain are raw and real, but there is hope. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, they are. They're very raw. They stay with you forever, guys. This stays with you forever. And Nam, have you guys heard from Flora Cash song? You're somebody else. Definitely about parental alienation. I broke down sobbing when I heard that song. No, I'm gonna have to hear that. Flora Cash song, you're somebody else. But this is, it's horrible. And there's so many parents out there that are victims of this. And the children are also victims here, guys. The children are the ones, yes, crying is good therapy. But when you start to remember what you've gone through, the emotions come out and you're not able to hold that back. Because this is part of my experience in my life, that pain, it will never go away. But I do know that I was not a perfect mother. I don't think anybody is. We don't have a book when our children are born, to tell us how to do everything so perfect. We make mistakes. But I do know I love my children. And I do know that I would give my life for my children. They are my life. And so I will never give up that hope. And you guys have to also understand that children that do this, it's because children are naturally born pleasers. They want to please the alienator. Misty, yes, they are too. And I'm sorry, Rebecca, it's a very touchy subject, but one I need help with before they are too old. You're right, Misty. Before they get too old, because right now, as young as they are, this is their most formative years. And that you do, Misty, is show love. Just keep showing love. Call them constantly. Even if they don't answer the phone, keep calling them. Because if you stop calling and you give up, that reinforces what the abuser's already telling them, what the narcissist has already told them. See, your mom don't love you. See, she hasn't even called you. Or, see, your dad don't love you. See, he hasn't even called you. It's reinforcing that belief to the child. And it makes the child start to believe what the parent is telling them. And problem is, I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 in June. I had my daughter when I was 37. I'm so afraid that I may not be here when she finally comes around. I'm afraid for her, what she's going to miss. I know, Anam, that is the worst part of parental alienation, and I feel your pain. The worst part of parental alienation is all of the lost time, all of fresh memories that you're missing, that you can't get back. Sorry, guys. Whew. I think that's the most, painful part, is that you've missed out on so much. So much. Sorry, guys, for getting emotional. But this is very real. It's very real, and it happens. And there's so many targeted parents out there with this pain that you do have to carry every day. And you best believe that these children are carrying the same pain, guys. These children are carrying that same pain because they do love you. They do. They'll never stop loving you. They just can't admit that. Thank you, lovingly me. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm bothering them in front of their friends, but I will follow advice. Yeah, Misty, never ever feel like you're bothering them. You have to show them. You do your best with all that you know. Education is key. Thank you, Sophie. It is. Yes, they are too, and I'm sorry, Beck. It's a very touchy subject, but it really is, guys. And this pain, oh my God, I don't wish it on anybody. Not even my worst enemy. I would never wish this on any parent or any grandparent or any child. So guys, if you're going through any type of custody battle or anything, just always tell your children that mommy and daddy both love you. And it's not your fault. You were never the fault. So no matter how hard it is, just don't ever take that piece of puzzle from them. And that's their identity. It is extremely difficult because they can say so much hurtful things to you guys. Your children can really say the most hurtful. And the why it hurts so much is because of the unconditional love you have for them. My daughter worked for me and I had to fire her. She hasn't spoken with me for over a year. Cajun Kevin, I'm so sorry. Reach out to her. Reach out to her. Because life is short and you never know. Just reach out to her. You're missing memories that you could be having and making. You have to reach out. Just keep doing it, Cajun. Just keep doing it. Just keep reaching out. No matter what, you just keep reaching out. Even if she doesn't answer the phone, just keep calling, because eventually she's going to see, wow, you know, he does love me. He does. Scotty, Sophie, thank you for sharing. I'm picturing you giving all your caring and loving to all children that come into your path. That's the person you are. Yes, that's right, Scott. Yes, Kristen, give it time. They will grow up and they will start to see, guys, the truth. They see it on their own. And then what happens is the alienator is now looked at as, oh my God, you did this, and mom never was like that, or dad never was like that. Dad did love me. Why would you tell me my daddy don't love me? Why would you tell me my mommy don't love me? Or my mommy or my daddy left because they don't love me? Like, it had nothing to do with the kids. The kids are innocent. They're children. Children are born with love, and they're only taught hate. That is a taught behavior, guys. Like I've said 50 million times in my other videos, a child is only born with two fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Have you ever seen a baby, a newborn baby, that if you don't cuddle them, they feel like they're falling, so they shake a little bit? Or loud noises, and it makes them startle? That's the only thing they're born with. And then love. Love, guys, love. Hate is a taught behavior to a child, to hate. So you have to realize that your child that is going through this parental alienation, they love you. Don't for a second think your children don't love you. They're just trying to please the narcissist alienator. I'm going to go back on your comments. It took my mom's death for me to not feel guilty loving my dad or talking about him. I am so sorry. So sorry. All right, Cage and Kevin, I text her often because she doesn't answer my call. Yes, keep texting. Just keep texting and say, you know, I was thinking about you today and just wanted you to know I love you. That's what you have to just keep doing. Thank you for sharing. I'm picturing you. And you know, my daughter would actually wait to go to her bus stop to call me on her cell phone. It's only when her aunt told her, you know, I can get your cell phone records and see who you've been calling, that she stopped talking to me. She stopped calling me. And here, once I had my loving children that always cried for me when I went to work, when I came home. Oh, here I go again. Running to me. And then taught to hate. But guys, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up on your child. Don't ever, ever. And if this is your grandchildren, don't. Just keep showing them that you love them. They are emotionally programmed, guys, to believe that you are the bad person. Their memories are replaced with memories of what they want them to believe. So the child's memories start to get erased about you. And the once loving memories that they had in their brain, that they held, that they remember that mom or dad did with them, it now becomes a distorted memory of what they were told. And it's easy to do this to children. It's manipulation. It's manipulation 101. They are easily able to be manipulated. For this for 11 years and nothing but hate from my kid. Now she acts like my character, assassination, narcissist sister. I'm so sorry, Renee. Gigi, what is the main thing that is this about with children? It's about mental and emotional abuse to children, Gigi. That some parents inadvertently do without realizing, and some parents do because they are narcissists and they do this to children. So this is about catching yourself so that preventing this from happening in the first place, but also about bringing awareness to the situation and how many parents that this has caused, how much pain it's caused to the children and to the parents. And the biggest thing you have to do is get these children to a psychologist, to a licensed psychologist, psychiatrist, guys, that is familiar with parental alienation. And if you're going through a custody dispute or a custody battle, get that counselor, a licensed professional in here. They can decipher this, they can see it, and they can help you through the court system and navigate it to show it. That counselor, that licensed psychologist, are the ones that can help you in a court battle situation with parental alienation. Rebecca, I heard you say that you're a victim's advocate. May I ask in what capacity? You're so educated in this topic, more so than just personal experience. I love to advocate for this issue. Let me reread this for 1 second. May I ask in what capacity? You're so educated. Well, it's basically social work, a little bit of education in psychology, also my own experiences with that furthered my education in this field, which I truly believe that everything happens for a reason in our life, and that it's to teach us something or to help somebody. So my passion lies in my experience of this, but my education lies in wanting to be a victim's advocate, wanting to advocate about these, and also saying, what better person can help somebody that is a victim of domestic violence or a victim of child abuse or sexual abuse or emotional abuse or parental alienation than one that can actually say, you know what, I know your pain. It's almost like a person that you tell them when they tell you they've lost a child, and you say, oh, I know how you feel, but yet they've never lost a child. So how can you tell me how I feel? You would never possibly understand how I feel. Are you a social worker? No, not a social worker. There's a lot of social work involved, but it's actually assisting victims so that you can navigate them through the legal process of putting restraining orders against them, going to their jobs, explaining to their bosses. It's a lot of work that is involved in being a victim's advocate. The main thing for me is the emotional support of being a victim's advocate, because these victims are emotionally drained. They're confused. They feel extremely guilty that they're even seeking help and that they're even trying to get a restraining order. It's kind of like a friend that holds their hand and that empowers them and says, you can do it because I was once there. You can do it. So, there's a lot more to it, but I take the education part out of it because I speak with my heart, and not just with the psychology part of it all. Rebecca, we've got to try and set the record straight out, shut down so many lies about Shanann and her family. Yeah, it's just awful. Renee, the social work gave my child to my character assassination, narcissist, psychopath, liar, sister, no help from them. Yeah, it depends on what social worker you're talking about. There's social workers that work for DCF and people like that, that fail you. They absolutely fail you guys. The courts fail you when it comes to this type of stuff. Even our very own courts fail you, okay? So my work is not in that type of field. Yes, it does take, knowledge in social work. But it is about being there for the victim. You have to be there for the victim because they don't know the legal system. And then they're also that vulnerable, gullible fish that knows that there's a piece of meat on the hook and they're getting ready to get reeled back in. So anything this abuser says, it's going to reel them back in. And I'm the one that's there saying, don't fall for it. Don't do it. And then I also listen for but in their vocabulary. I hear but he's the one who helps me with the bills, but he does this, but. That's when I know, okay, you're not ready. And, you clearly can see that. But you empower them, and slowly, you have to do it slowly, but you plant seeds of empowerment. And they'll finally see, and they'll start being empowered, so that eventually what happens is they start to realize that everything goes in one ear and out the other, that you are no longer vulnerable to them, because they're never going to change. They're never going to change. You can think they are because, they're being so sweet and nice and kind, and this is the person you love. So you think they're going to change. They don't change. They're never, ever going to change. You can never change them. This is something you have to realize. You are never going to change a narcissist or an abuser, guys. You have to come to that term of understanding. Thank you, leave, but don't leave me. Even though you love them and you think you're going to change them, not even a psychiatrist or psychologist can change them, and they can tell you that for themselves. I need to get ready for my work day tomorrow. Okay, Sophie. It's okay, Gigi. So, it's empowerment, guys. Can you fill me in a bit? I'm out of town helping with my mother, Gigi. Gigi, it's just, parental alienation, emotional abuse. And usually this happens in high, like if you're going through custody disputes, it can happen to a child and a targeted parent. Usually it's more in domestic violence. This happens a lot more. It happens in domestic violence cases. The abuser turns your children against you, and that's about power and control, because what better way to hurt you than to use the children, right? The one that you love the most, the one little ones that you love unconditionally, that's how they can hurt you. So this is to hurt you. Yes, they always end up the victim. Yeah, they play a victim. It's okay, Megan. Sadly, my ex went from being an abusive person to the victim because kids didn't want to visit. See, Fallon, there's a difference between an abusive parent, a real abusive parent, and this is where I say a psychiatrist and a psychologist, a licensed one, has to come in and decipher this, because there are abusive parents out there that your children are not safe with, and you have to keep them away from them because they're not safe. They abused you. They tried to almost kill you and your kids. So there's a difference, and the courts just don't seem to recognize these things. Yes, Darlene, even a court-appointed child attorney has a hard time weeding through all the bullshit. Super complicated, hard to have anyone believe the truth. Exactly, Darlene. This is why you have to get a licensed psychiatrist and psychologist, guys, to get involved. Have the court order it. so that they can be the ones to be there with the kids by themselves and, figure it out. Have the courts give you a family court evaluator that comes in and deciphers the truth from not the truth. Amy, that was a perfect explanation, Rebecca. Very inspiring, Sophia. My daughter is 19, and I know her experience changed everything about her. She has seen the light, but she sees a therapist weekly. I'm glad she sees a therapist. Hi, Kelly Bell. Yes, it does, Lee, but don't leave me. Just makes us look more crazy. Yeah, that's what they do. That's exactly what they do. Because it makes you emotional. So see, look, mom's emotional. She can't handle nothing. Yeah, we went through it all. DCF called on me. Yeah, Fallon, that's what happens in these cases. And it's false accusations to the point where DCF even goes, you know what? You need to stop doing what you're doing because this is clearly not true and it's not about the kids. So let them continue to call DCF. They're only hurting themselves. Kelly Bell, I am a licensed psychologist and criminologist. I see this terrible abuse daily. Breaks my heart every day. See, yes, Kelly Bell, it is. It is awful. So, guys, right now in life, we do have a licensed psychologist. Because, guys, I am not a licensed psychologist, okay? I am just a victim's advocate. This is very real emotional abuse. Very real. And Kelly Bell, can you explain that you guys are able to decipher facts and fiction, like what a child's behaviors are? You can tell that the child isn't being honest about their parent versus are being honest about their parent. So, Megan, I was lucky in the fact my mom tried that form of abuse after my dad had passed, and I was closest to him, and she was already gone on drugs and in an abusive relationship. She did other abuse. I'm so sorry, Megan. I'm trying to figure out the ages of children and what the problem. Gigi, the ages are from a little kid all the way up until 18 to in their 20s. They are programmed. Yes, Fallon. Megan Lee, you are a strong person. Thanks for sharing. Then she tried getting me from my dad's whole family and older sister. I had to sneak to see them. That's another thing, yes. Then when it all came out, it just changed how I saw her even more. Those relationships never got repaired. That is so sad. That breaks my heart. I'm so sorry, Megan. So sorry. Yeah, it's different ages that this happens to, guys. Your child could be a teenager and have this, but sadly, and I hate to say this, but even a psychologist can back me up on this, is that sometimes it can be that you don't get your child back in your life until they're in their 40s. Sometimes they don't even get to recognize what's happened to them, that they've been programmed to believe these things about their parent, and it'll take them in their 40s. This is why I say be persistent. Show them you love them constantly so that it doesn't get to that point. I'm going to go back and read. Oh, yes, you can tell. So, guys, this is a licensed psychologist right now. Oh, yes, you can tell through body language and the way the child acts. The fear that comes off of them fills the room. It takes years to help a child focus on their thought processes. So, guys, did you see Kelly Bell's comments? She is a licensed psychologist and criminologist here. And thank you, Kelly Bell. Thank you. My older sister did. I stay with her and her family every time I go home. Not the rest, but for good reasons. I'm so sorry, you guys, that's going through this and have, been victims of this emotional abuse. It's awful. It really, really is, guys. And awareness is the key. And also by telling you what it is exactly, talking bad about the other parent and stuff, you have to just be very careful what you say about a child's parent. Because when you say things, you don't realize you're taking a piece of that child from them. Absolutely, my kids would play sick after about 4 hours. Aw, I'm so sorry. That's sad because this is why I say a licensed psychologist and psychiatrist have to be involved here, guys. Is because when you're in an abusive relationship, parental alienation is not what this is, okay? That is a natural, heartfelt concern for your child that, this person is abusive. And so you want to protect the child. So that's why a psychiatrist or psychologist is so important to get involved in this, because they're the ones that can help you guys. They're the ones that can say, look, and you show the psychiatrist and the psychologist, you show them your records that you were in an abusive marriage, because the abuser always will abuse the kids too. Anyone that's been in domestic violence, you guys know fully that the abuser always abuses the kids too, right? Kelly Bell, I have had clients for 10 years, and it is constant hard work and support to help a person see the Yes, it is a constant back and forth. Patience, love, support, and persistence is very important. So guys, do you hear Kelly Bell? It is very hard work, and it's hard once they're programmed. It's very hard. My sister started indoctrinating my daughter against me at the age of 8 years old behind my back. My own daughter is 20 in college now and acts like my sister's no help out there for me. Oh my God, Renee, I am so, so sorry. And you know what hurts you the most is when it is one of your family members that do that. Your very own family member does that to you. That's the hard part. Misty, I have so much to input, but it would take too long to text, unfortunately. But I do need some help with this. I went to legal aid, and they said they couldn't help me because someone from my ex's side went for advice first. So they said it would be a conflict of interest, so there's no help to even answer my questions, and my ex knows I don't know the Hawaii laws. Misty, you were in an abusive relationship, though, right? Are you going through any type of court battle? All right, Witty says, I won't speak to my mother. She was never a mother, ever. Some people have certain reasons to not speak to their mother, and are legit reasons, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's not saying that there's not parents out there that are bad. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a once loving parent, that even the partner sees that you were a once loving parent. Now is your child is turned against you. So how can you go from being a once loving parent to now the enemy, the one you hate? That doesn't make sense, right? That's programming the child's mind. It is installing memories in their head. It's erasing their memories and putting new memories in their head. It's them telling them, your mom don't love you, your dad don't love you. everything's mom's fault. You know, I seen a comment earlier on my page that said, you know, if you get a bad grade in school, it's mom, or, you know, it'd be dad. It's anything bad that happens, it's always the targeted parent or grandparent's fault. If it's something good, then it's them, they get the praise. See, it's all me. My kids are with their aunt and uncle. A judge out here gave us joint custody, but my ex messed up after and was homeless with the kids. And my son told the aunt, and the aunt gave her brother an ultimatum. Misty, have you worked with domestic violence or mental health services? If you are in these services, they can help cut through some of the red tape and problems you are having with legal aid. Yes. All right, so Misty, do you see Kelly Bell's comment? I call CPS, so I never signed anything. All right, Misty, have you seen Kelly Bell's comment? She wants to know if you worked with domestic violence or mental health. I have a therapist out here, but they haven't helped. I don't get that. I don't understand that. Tell them what you need. That, you know, you have to talk to your therapist and tell them, look, this is what I'm having a problem with, and I need your help. And they're there to help you. I did, thank you, and not out here, and domestic violence was in Nevada. Oh, Lord. Yes, domestic, it should be able to do something. They should, Misty. Absolutely. You know, especially a psychiatrist, because that's admissible in court, guys, is getting that psychiatrist, you know, to be on your side and know. A social worker or caseworker through one of these services will work with you on one-on-one to teach you the laws and programs you are unfamiliar with. Yes. Renee says social worker is the worst, no help whatsoever. In certain circumstances of parental alienation, social workers will fail you guys. I'm not saying that they're perfect and that, you know, they do fail. They fail a lot. You know, it's getting with the right social worker. Family courts do not recognize this. The targeted parent will always look bad because the children are pitted against you. Do not talk to a therapist. They will be turned against you. Best thing, run. No, Jen. No. I would never, ever advise that, because family courts are recognizing this now. They're starting to really recognize this, especially in abusive relationships. So the target parent does look bad, but this is where the psychiatrist that you get comes in and speaks on your behalf. And they do their case notes and they document it for you that you're going through this. And what you also want to do is not let the targeted parent choose a psychiatrist, guys, or a psychologist. It is make it where you both have that decision to choose the psychiatrist or the psychologist. So if he's or her have the children in psychology, now you need to put them into a counselor that is objective, that doesn't even know who you are or who he is or any of that. Just like any field, you will have good and bad people. When I was a caseworker in college, people could change caseworkers until they found who worked well with them. Exactly, guys. Very true. So this is where I say you have to get one that's new, not the one that's already the targeted or the, sorry, alienator has, got them believing certain things. You need one that's going to be objective and start fresh. And that can actually look at you or look at your children and with a fresh start. That's the ones that you need to get. One that is not on your side or the other person's side, but on the child's side. Because trust me, the child can go into the psychiatrist and psychologist, but they are trained to know that this child is being told to say certain things because of their behaviors, because of their body language isn't matching up to what's coming out of their mouth. So that's when I say a psychiatrist and a psychologist that is fresh in the case, that hasn't had the influence of the alienator, they're able to see through this stuff, guys. And the court system is now finally, after 20 freaking years, they're finally able to see this. And a lot of times when it is caught, that alienator loses custody of the children. And then you get the custody. I wasted $20K to try and fight. There is no such thing. 5 years, no contact with my daughter. I lost her due to corruption. Jen, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. That has to be very, very hard. Like, very difficult. Yes, see, Jen, you and Kelly were meant to meet tonight. Absolutely. See where God puts you at certain times in certain places? Look, we're talking about a serious issue, guys, and a licensed psychologist is right here with us. I mean, look how wonderful God works. Really, guys. You know, that is God's work. Yeah, there's no coincidences. Here is a licensed psychologist, you know. So Kelly Bell, thank you so much for being on this live feed. I mean, it's really amazing. Everybody say thank you to Kelly. Because guys, understand, you know, even though I'm a victim's advocate and you have to have, you know, education, certain types of education in psychology and social work and all that, I am not a licensed psychologist, guys. I'm a victim's advocate. So that's very important that everybody understands that. You know, so when you do have a licensed psychologist, listen to them. They're there for a reason, you know. It's finding the right one. Kelly, I entered this field because I grew up in the same environment. I was in counseling from the time I was 6 until I was 20. I still go bi-weekly. Wow, Kelly. See, a lot of us get into this field based on our own experience in life. And what better counselor, psychologist that you want that can truly say, you know what, I've been in your shoes. And that makes you feel so much better because they're not just talking out of a book of what they've learned, guys. They're talking about their experience. They really understand you. And those are the psychologists that I love, that can have the empathy and understanding that they have been where I was. Yes, I think you can't truly know unless you have walked in their shoes. Absolutely. Kelly, thank you. And Kelly, I'm sure you could tell us some horrible, horrible stories. Have you seen, with parental alienation, have you seen it, like, give other people hope and show them that this can be fixed, not to give up, like, constantly show the love? Amy, thank you for sharing your story too. Rebecca, it's not easy to bare your soul on this topic. And Kelly Bell, my daughter is studying psychology for the exact same reason. Bless you both. Absolutely, Amy. Like, those are the psychologists that I personally love, is when they can tell me, I know what you're going through because I've been there too. And that just empowers me. It really empowers me, because that's the psychologist I want to talk to. That's who I want to listen to. Is one that's there because of the passion, that's there because of wanting to truly help people, because you know where you've been and now where you are. And Amy, you are so welcome. And Kelly, we are honored to meet you, and I'm so glad you're on this live feed. Like, wow, God is truly amazing, guys. Because a lot of targeted parents feel so helpless when it comes to parental alienation. You feel so helpless because you really are. And so it's a topic that's, extremely painful for the targeted parent. And they start getting anger, and you got to realize your children love you. They do. They really do, guys. And just keep showing them that you do love them. Text them. Don't ever stop texting them. Don't ever give up. Yes, I have seen parents and children overcome this alienation. It takes a lot of time, but I will be there to work with them as long as they need it. I give my clients my cell phone number, so they can reach me anytime. You are amazing, Kelly. Amazing. So, guys, right there is hope, okay? She has seen a lot of them overcome this. And that's the hope that you need and that you want. Here is a licensed psychologist telling you guys right now that there is hope. Yes, Misty, thank you for covering this subject, Rebecca. I didn't know it had a name. Yes, a lot of people don't know that it does have a name. And it's called PAS, Parental Alienation Syndrome. And, look it up. And, there's a website, actually, which is the best website you guys can go on to, which is Psychology Today. That really gives you a lot of information about this and what you can say to your children versus what you shouldn't say to your children. And see this one key right here, false accusations. That always happens in PAS. I call it PAS, because it's instead of saying parental alienation. And it tells you exactly what it is. And then if you look here, there is lack of support or justice that they receive from the family courts. That is true. That's why I tell you, get a licensed psychologist, guys. Your kids want your love. Your persistence and love really reaches them. If you are seeing a lot of anger, they are testing you to see if you will stick by them. Exactly. That is so true, Kelly. That is so true. And it's so important because if you're not persistent when it comes to parental alienation, then it validates what the abuser, I'm going to call them abusers instead of alienators right now, because they are abusers. It reinforces to the child that what they've planted in this kid's mind, in your kid's mind, or your grandkid's mind, that, see, mom or dad doesn't love me. And, you know, look, they haven't called you. It's been, what, a week, and they haven't called you. They don't love you. It's just reinforcing to them. And you don't want to do that. You don't want that reinforcement. So, Me Too was just going to say that's a great website. Yes, it is. It is an awesome website, guys. Lots of information. That was one of my questions. My 16, almost 17-year-old is doing that, has anger, but then love, and confuses me. Because they will show anger and then love, because like I said, Misty, they do love you. They're angry and they hold the anger inward only because they don't know how to cope with it. Keep in mind, they're suffering too. You know, they are suffering because they do love you. Yeah, the anger truly is a test. Your kids want to see if you will love them, even if they are horrible to you. Yeah, that is very true, Kelly. You know? The anger isn't always towards you. It could be they're mad at the other parent. Yes, and they just can't show it. Very true, Megan. It's horrible to feel like you have to pick a side. It is. No child should ever, ever have to pick that. This is why the courts are now giving a lot of parents 50-50. Hi, Christina. Or confused because one parent is saying one thing and they see different. Exactly. And it's tormenting them. It's tormenting the child because they love and trust their parents. And then all of a sudden you're telling me something about my mom or my dad, and now you want me to believe this? It's a tormenting. So of course the anger comes outward because children don't know how to express that. Some of that anger is also the anger they feel about the situation and themselves. Exactly. That is so true, Kelly. It is. They don't know how to handle it. So they go to school and they'll pick fights with other kids and then you have a lot of problems with them and they show anger toward you, and it's because they don't know how to cope with it either. I'll leave it on this little... Of course it's going to do that. That's the biggest thing, is these false accusations and parental alienation. And that is the most saddest part, is that these children are told to say certain things about their parents, to make these false accusations. And that really hurts these kids, guys, that they have to make this up. And that's why I say a licensed psychologist needs to be there so that these false accusations can be cleared up. And licensed psychologists are the ones that can see, is that really true? Is it not true? They know how to get into the child's head to figure this out. It's so important. going back on your guys' comments. And when they are attacking the other parent, they feel attacked, so they get defensive. Yes. Their father doesn't bash me because he knows if I press charges that would have been life in prison. 3 counts of kidnapping times 2 times. Wow, Misty. Trauma and the developing brain can give you some extra information if you're interested. Yes, so guys, trauma and the developing brain can give you some extra information if you're interested. Yeah, the best thing too is to educate yourself with, information on the web. Google parental alienation. Learn everything. If you're experiencing this, learn everything there is to learn about it. And also it'll help you to cope with it. What you can do to cope. I see someone was timed out. Were they saying something bad? Also read about trauma bonds. There are tons of PAS and trauma bonds. Okay, Amy. Just stupid stuff. Yeah. It's like we're talking about child abuse here, guys. So it's like, to say like crazy things and stuff, like, come on, we're talking about innocent children here. Like, it's not nice. This is a very real topic we are talking about that happens to children. This is what is really, like, this is a severe form of mental abuse you can do to a child. The worst, guys. When I tell you this is the worst abuse you could do to a child, this is the worst mental abuse you can do to a child is parental alienation. And it's also the worst abuse you can do to the targeted parent. There's so many parents out there that are in so much pain because of this. I'm gonna go back on you guys' comments. Okay, so let's take Shanann, for instance, right? Her mother-in-law did what she did, and Shanann was trying to protect her children, rightfully so, guys, rightfully so. That Shanann had every right to do what she did. Because you are putting her child in danger with those nuts that she's deathly allergic to. So there's certain situations where this does not apply. That is a legit reason to keep the person away from your children. You have to protect them. So in cases like that, this is totally different. We're talking about a narcissist and an abuser are the ones that do parental alienation. It is child abuse. And see right here, it does say justice within the family law system. They fail you. Hostile spouse or ex-spouse. Yeah, it usually is an abuser that does this to you with your own children. What better way to hurt you than to use your children against you? Because they know that's going to hurt you. Is it breaking up? Alright, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Just a little. Yeah, my side seems fine. My volume's all the way up. You can? Okay. Alright, Renee, yes, you can hear me. Oh, let me get my finger out of the way there, guys. Sorry about that. You know, I feel so bad for the parents that are victims of this and the grandparents, guys. Like, that is just awful. Awful, awful. And see, there's other programs out here that can help you reverse the alienation. But you have to be very careful what you say to the child that has been alienated from you. Alright, so are you guys able to hear me? Misty, can you hear me? Okay. So is there any questions you guys have about parental alienation? Alright, Megan, speaking of cases like this one, pretty extreme cases, have y'all heard of the Schofields? No, I haven't. Kelly, I am also going through this with my 5-year-old's paternal grandmother. I could connect with why Shanann did what she did to Chris's mom. Absolutely. Because in those situations, you're doing it because you're trying to protect your child. I mean, gosh, you know, you have to protect your child. So in those cases, that's a different story. You know, and everyone was faulting Shanann. Talking about she was trying to keep the kids away from Ronnie, and Ronnie and them couldn't have contact with them. No, she wanted them at the birthday party and stuff. She just wanted it supervised. And there's nothing wrong with wanting it supervised. And no wonder why Shanann was saying that besides the peanuts and then Jamie putting the peanuts in a peanut bowl, think about that, there was razor blades. Well, now that you find out what Ronnie actually did, and he had an addiction of doing, that explained razor blades all over the house. Gigi, I could write a book on how his dad left him like he wasn't a dad to son. When it all went down, my son took it all out on me, even to throwing me across my living room. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Gigi. Alright, why is natural cancer healing going on timeout though? What is... And see guys, even Kelly, a licensed psychologist, is going through this. I could write a book on how his dad... I cannot believe that, Gigi. That's awful. The mom claims they are schizophrenic. Look them up. Super messed up. They even went to Dr. Phil. So mom literally had them so drugged up they can't talk or do anything. Super powerful drugs. Oh my God. I'm going to have to look at that, but that's probably going to break my heart. I also heard of a case about a mother that had Munchausen by proxy disorder and had people giving her money and, you know, saying that her children were sick, and even the doctors were believing this and putting these kids on drugs. Is this what you're talking about, Megan? I had to cut her off. She threatens me on a daily basis. I have done everything to connect with this woman. She thinks my job as a psychologist is crap. Yeah, Kelly, you gotta ignore those ones. My mom loves the attention. The dad didn't agree. They needed it, so she got doctors to stop giving the dad info on their progress or meds. Wow. My son passed away January the 5th, 2018. He was hit by a train. His ex-wife ripped my grandson right out of our life when he was 4. He is now 6. My heart is completely broken. I am so sorry, Christina. I'm so sorry you lost your son. And I'm so sorry the only part of what you have left is your grandson. It's a part of his dad. I'm so sorry. That is just awful. Like, awful. And we right now on this live feed understand your pain. Not losing a child to that aspect, but the parental alienation part. And that's like losing a child all over again, because that's your grandchild. So that's just awful, and I'm so sorry. So Megan, if the dad talks to them and the older daughter tells her dad anything about the brother or their meds, she refuses to let them talk to the dad. They just got taken away. It may be she wasn't diagnosed yet. Oh my goodness. Yes, Christine, we're so sorry. My only son was an addict, but I was so close to her and the baby. She never even called when my son died. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That breaks my heart. Do you know that you have grandparents' rights? If you have it in you to fight, you do have grandparents' rights to obtain visitation with your grandson. You know that, right? If you have it in you to fight and the financial resources, you can take her to court and get grandparents' rights. I mean, yes, Christina, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. That has to be very, very hard for you. I'm glad Dr. Phil stood up to her finally and like foster care homes, but they'll save her away. I just cannot believe that they just got taken away on the 9th. I think they're in a hospital or something, detoxing with around the care. Were the children actually sick? Mom is truly crazy. Hate to use that word, but with all her filming them and putting on YouTube, she was out of control. Gosh, I never heard of that. If I looked up that would affect me, just like the Shanann case just grabbed my heartstrings and pulled me in. So she was schizophrenic. Christine and I have the exact opposite. My son's father died suddenly in September. I am trying everything with his grandmother so he knows his family. Every time I talk to her, she tells my son I am a terrible person. Wow. Maybe she has some type of resentment, Kelly. Like, that's awful. And you don't need her to tell your son those things, you know? But it would seem like she would want to be in your son's life. She would have killed them, like recording them on the toilet and everything. Oh my God. I know my son is finally at peace. Yes, Christina. Yeah, Christina, I'm so sorry. And you do have grandparents' rights, you know, in the court system. You do have rights. It's so sad that parents do that. You're hurting anybody but the kid. And that to me just does not make sense. There's videos on Facebook. The daughter is diagnosed schizophrenic. The son so far has been diagnosed autistic, I believe, but she has him on drugs for schizophrenia, and it's sad. But are the kids really sick? I just got diagnosed with MS last year, and I had to go on disability. Oh, wow, Christina. I am so sorry. And you know, with MS, stress is going to, you know, cause you some major flares, so you cannot stress yourself. Look up Sheffield Productions on YouTube. I've never wanted to call CPS and someone more. So this person is actually on YouTube right now doing videos about that. Kelly, I am trying to protect my son. I went through this parental alienation as a child. I am trying to work behind the scenes with her. She is constantly threatening me. That is awful. Like, awful. Yeah, you do not need your child hearing negative things said about you. No matter how much you feel about the other person and you don't even like the other person, keep that to yourself. You don't tell the child that. That's their mommy. That's their daddy. Like, you just don't do that. Dr. Phil said she has to take that down to get help. I looked that down. Day it was down. Made her stop or he wasn't going to help, but you can still find them. Oh my God. Yeah, it's hard for me to look up channels like that because when it comes to kids, oh, that affects me. That really affects me very badly. I feel like she is a child and has not matured. Yeah, absolutely. But another channel has a lot of her videos. She stands up for the kids. Oh. Like, I've never heard of that case. So is this the same case with the mother that was pretending like her children were sick and was taking them to the doctors, and the doctor was actually subscribing medications? Has anyone heard about that case? So it is that case. Okay, I was just told about that case yesterday by my daughter-in-law, and I told her, oh my God, I cannot put myself there, because I am the type of person that puts myself in another person's shoes. I was just made that way, I guess. And when I tell you I put myself in another person's shoes, I feel their pain. And I don't understand why I do that, but I do. And so that will affect me. Especially when it comes to children. Oh my God. Like, who can do that to innocent children? Christina, please work with someone to get back into your grandchild's life. They will thank you. Yes. Because think about it. Your grandchild don't even have their daddy, you know? And you're one piece of their puzzle that they need. They need you, Christina. You know, he needs you. Yes, I believe I got it. Dealing with my son's addiction. Yeah. Yeah, I do that too, Rebecca. Yes, that empathy is, oh, I was always taught to do that, like never make fun of people. And Christina, thank you. It's been a sucky 2 years. Christina, I bet it has. And I'll pray for you. I'll definitely keep you in my prayers. All of us will. Yeah, so when you are dealing with your child with an addiction problem, that's extremely difficult. That in itself is difficult. She admits to doctor shopping, but yeah, but one kid is diagnosed schizophrenic. They haven't labeled her Munchausen's by proxy yet, I don't think. Is the child actually schizophrenic? Hi, Rose. That's an extreme case. She kept the dad at arm's length and she couldn't even fight her on what meds they should be on or not. Wow. I was raised to always put myself in someone else's shoes. That is why I continue to work with my son's grandmother. Yes, Kelly, and that's so good. You know, I would say to her, look, when you say these things about me, you're actually hurting my child, you know. You're not really hurting me, you're hurting my child. I don't care what you think about me. You're hurting my child. And I can't allow you to hurt my child. The daughter, yes, has been since 6. Son, I don't think so. He hasn't been diagnosed. Wow. I just think the world needs so much more compassion and love. Like, where is the love and the compassion for others as human beings, guys? Yes, it is because we have a lot of empathy. You guys are like truly amazing. I want you guys to know that. Like really amazing people. Like I love interacting and talking to people that genuinely care. You could tell when a person genuinely cares about something. And it's evident by every single one of your live messages here, guys. Oh yeah, that made Where Is the Love song play in my head. Yeah, where is the love? The world has lost the patience and want to find the solution without putting the work in. Yeah. He was mine and my husband's love. Oh. Christina, you're gonna make me cry. Oh, thanks, Scott. You're amazing too, you know. Christina, like, I feel so bad for you. Because I know your grandchildren are, like, they're your life. And you need to fight, hon. Like, do everything you can. Oh, you're welcome. Get it out. It's best when you do talk it out and to get out that pain. Don't hold it in. That's why, you know, everyone can say, oh, shut your emotional self up on your videos. Guys, that is me. That is authentically me, and I can't hold back my emotions. So at that given moment, if I get emotional, I'm sorry, but that's me. I get emotional. The mom would ask the little boy, "Do you need your meds now?" And then name the meds off at like 5 a.m. Poor boy. Oh, God. Oh, thank you, Misty. Most are just on the microwave high, instant satisfaction. And if it isn't my way, it's no way. Yep, exactly. Rebecca, your channel is a breath of fresh air. I see so much every day, and everyone helps me cope to start a new day fresh. Aw, Kelly, thanks. And that means a lot. Like, a lot to me. You have no idea. Like, guys, I put the time in with this channel, you know, with my platform here. It's to build victims' self-esteem. Like, my husband makes good money, okay? I don't need money. But the help of subscribers, watching the videos, you are actually helping build self-esteem. Given a kid that's in a group home, that's not in their home anymore, that had to flee their home with no shoes on, you guys have no idea, just by subscribing and watching my videos, what you are doing for these children. The smiles you are going to put on their face, that is so rewarding. The allowing the victims to do their hair, you know, and their makeup and their nails, and get nails done, and, you know, proper clothes. They're in homes that's not their home, with strangers, you know, and they have lost everything. They've hit rock bottom, like rock bottom. And you show them self-esteem because they've lost everything. They've lost their mind, their self-esteem. They have lost everything, guys, when I tell you that. Yeah, see, stuff like that meant everything when I was in the shelter. It does, guys. You have no idea. Giving them these baskets of, you know, just things to make them feel good about themselves, build their self-esteem. Because they don't want to look in the mirror, because they don't feel beautiful. And you wouldn't believe it, but they are the most beautiful people. And you think, how the heck do you not feel beautiful? You are gorgeous. And they can't look in the mirror because the abuser has took all of that from them, guys. Thank you, Christina. Yeah, and being in that shelter, you know, like, guys, it's not the comfort of their home. They don't want to be there. And then think in the back of their mind, they're thinking it's just going to be easier if I go back home. But they also know in the back of their mind, if I go back home, I may never ever live again. This is going to be the man that's going to take me away from my children forever. And then some are forced to leave because they don't feel like, you know, because they do want to be in their home, because they do have their kids there, and they are coping with the stress of going to court and dealing with custody, and, you know, having their kids there, and then they also have to have responsibilities of doing chores to, you know, have to stay there. It's like, you know, the smallest, absolutely right, Scott. The smallest of things make all the difference, guys. It does. It makes all the difference in the world to someone. Yes, Christina, I will give you this platform. I want you guys to be heard, because the biggest thing that victims need and survivors is, all you want is to be heard, right? That's all they want, is to be heard. And once you feel like you've been heard, the healing begins. Like, the healing honestly starts to begin. It was rare but so sad when ladies went back to their abuser. Mainly they'd say they still love them, because they do, guys. It's not hard to just like turn off love, you know. The damage is going to do to my grandson hurts my heart. I know, Christina. I know. How old is your grandson again? I hate to leave you beautiful people. I have to get to bed. I have to be up early to get my son to preschool and get to work. Thank you all for your kind support, advice, and love. Kelly, thank you for all yours, girl. I mean, Kelly was awesome. Christina, how old's your grandson? Yeah, Kelly was amazing. Like, she's a licensed psychologist, guys. And look, she's going through the same type of ordeal. So it doesn't discriminate, you know? None of this discriminates. Scott, I think you said you never were in this. You've always had a good upbringing, which is thankful. Some end up believing the abuser, telling them they won't do better or find anyone else and all that. And I think there's an actually thing, maybe diagnosis, but people falling more in love with abusers. Yeah, because the abuser does tell them, you'll never find anybody better than me. Nobody's going to want you. Who's going to want you? And you really start to believe that crap. Thank you all. I hope to see you all again really soon. We're amazing too. Much love to you. Thanks, Kelly. You're so sweet. Yes, Stockholm Syndrome is a very serious thing that goes with victims of domestic violence. It is called Stockholm Syndrome. You are absolutely right. Because the abuser has manipulated your mind so much. Good night, Kelly. And so think about it, you know, your mind is tormented. It's like, you know, you really have hope that these abusers are going to change. And they're not. They actually are not going to change, guys. They don't change. They never will change. No amount of counseling in this world or them and anger management or anything is going to change them. So when you finally get to the understanding and you finally get to the point where, like I said before in another video, when we get a headache, we take Tylenol or Advil to take the pain away. Well, this is what happens in these situations. When you get to the point of the pain is just too much, you start to take an Advil. And that means getting them out of your life. Or when they try to kill you is when they get away from the abuser. And sometimes when it's too late. And that's the saddest part, is when it's too late. And so these women that's left and only reported it after like 12 years, after 30 years, they finally report these things, and it's because they almost got killed. And they are still tempted to go back because of their living situation. And that's the saddest part, is that they're wanting to go back for the comfort of the living situation of what they're used to. They want their family together and they want to believe they're going to change. And no, but they are under the same part of understanding that they're not going to change. They're not. And that if I go back, this might be it. This person is going to take my life. I lost everything tangible but left with my life. Exactly. And you have your life. And that's what matters. Yes, Scott, a leopard never changes their spots. Yes, I'm sure my abuser is on to his next victim. Absolutely, because that's what they do. They go on to abuse and make it like it's that person. That, you're the cause of why they did what they did to you. It's all because of you. See what you made me do? When all reality, it's them and it never was you. I'm reading your guys' comments. What's that saying? A snake always sheds its skin but never changes its shape. I don't know. Laugh aloud. I have a terrible migraine. I can't think right now. There's a saying something to that, but I can't think of it either right now, Megan. That's the most important thing. Maybe that's the one I was thinking, Scott. Way off. Wait, is Chris on here? Yeah, guys, where's Chris tonight? I don't see Chris on here, but I see Misty and somebody else. Leave, but don't leave me saying hello to Chris. And Megan saying hi to Chris. Where is Chris? Is he on here incognito? Oh, there he is. Hey, Chris. About time. Fell asleep after work. You can't fall asleep after work, Chris. You're not allowed to do that. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So, see, we got some good guys on here too, guys. So we have Survived It is on here. There goes the screen. Misty, wink, wink. Who you winking at, Misty? Yes, we do have the best man. That sucks about the copyright strike. Yes, Chris. Yes. But, all you can do for people like that is just pray for them. I mean, you honestly got to pray for them. I mean, Jesus. We do. I blocked someone on here for Chris. Laugh out loud. What do you mean? What happened? Oh, he's 6. We haven't seen him in 2 years. Oh, no. So those are his most formative years also, Christina. So it's so important to, reach out somehow. Is he locally around you, near you, or out of state? Gosh, that has to be so hard. You haven't seen him since 2016. That is awful. Yes, Scott. So praying for you, Christina. Because if you're local, you know that you can go onto the court systems and get your own papers to file. You can print them out, go onto your court system. I don't know what county you live in, but type in the county that you live in and type in the county and clerk of courts, and you can print out, visitation rights, and you can fill that out yourself and submit it to the court. Go into the courthouse, take those papers and submit it to the courts and ask for parental rights. And what happens is they file a motion with the court system. The motion goes through and then it gets sent to the parent and says, look, we're asking for visitation rights. And that parent has to answer. You can do this pro se, which means without a lawyer, if you want to do it that way. There's always a way, to do this. And it's so sad that the parent doesn't realize just who they're hurting by doing what they're doing. And that is heartbreaking in itself. Alright, so we'll just call you Leave. Yeah, so Christina, I would honestly go on to your county clerk of courts, look at visitation papers. There's motions that you can file for yourself doing pro se. And you don't even need a lawyer. Print out those papers and go take it to the courthouse and ask for visitation to see your grandchild. You do have grandparent rights, so that I would do. Yeah, Chris, but don't really leave. Chris, you are something else. Yeah, it's not only hurting the children, but it's going to damage that parent's relationship with them in the long run. Yeah, it will, because the child starts to recognize it, Christina. Keep in mind, a child's always going to want to know. Have you ever seen, like, a child that was adopted? That no matter how much, you had that child as a newborn baby, they still seek out their parents. They still look for their biological parents as they get older, because they're missing a piece of themselves. So even though you haven't seen him in several years, since you said, I think, 2016, that child is going to grow up and they're going to look for you. And you better believe that, like, best believe that. They're going to look for you because you're their dad's mommy. Right back at you. You're so silly, Chris. Chris always brings the humor, don't he, guys? And here, my phone is starting to want to go kaput again. So hold on, guys. We go for a ride again. Don't I have the most good technology here? Everybody else's videos are always, high-tech videos, and I do mine like this. Because I'm standing here with a charger hooked to the phone. I'm so sorry, guys. Yep, my sister did. She didn't find out we had different dads until she was 16, and after mine passed, with the help of my grandma, my sister finally reached out and met him and his other family. Oh, yeah, because they do. They'll look for you. Oh, thanks, Leave. Yeah, you guys, you can just sit and look at the craziness for a second while I have my phone on the charge. Thanks, Chris. He told her he always wanted to reach out and find her, but my mom made it impossible. Aww. Late coffee time. Be right back. Okay, leave. You guys are like so awesome. You have no idea. You guys don't even care that I'm holding this right here looking at nothing. That is one thing, though, you know, to give you hope, Christine, your child, your grandchild will look for you. I'm going out to cook my dinner on the grill at 11:44 at night and probably 30 degrees out. Oh, where do you live, Chris? What state? See, Chris, that's why your butt shouldn't have went home and fell asleep. I don't think Chris is listening. Sorry, off topic, but did Becky get back to you about that video with the voice? No, Misty, not yet. She hasn't. Massachusetts. Oh my God, you're probably freezing your butt off. 5 hours away from us. Aww. And so the mother, Christina, is just not willing to work with you at all. And to understand that you've lost your son and it's how important it is that you're in his life. Yeah, see, I'm in Florida, so right now it's nice out. Like, I have flip-flops on, for crying out loud. Oh, I'm listening. I'm actually waiting for her to get back with me about it because I'm really interested to see what... Did you guys actually look at that video and hear anything yourselves? Used to live in Vero Beach? Oh my gosh. That's like very close to where I am. I think it's like an hour away, actually. Megan, where are you at? The one with the stuffed animals, Megan. The one where after I said I had a lot of love and respect for Shanann, you know, and her parents, you could hear a whisper that said, thank you. And when a person that made a comment on the video said, hey, I do EVPs and I heard this, and he gave me a timestamp on it, I had my earphones in and it was at night and I heard it plain as day. And I was like, oh my God. Because when I do my videos, nobody is around. Like, guys, nobody is around. So the only people that was with me, if you want to call them people, was my fur babies, my doggies. And they don't talk. They don't talk, guys. So when I heard that, thank you. It was like, oh my God, you're right. And I've never, ever experienced anything like that. So I don't know what to believe. I mean, there could be a scientific explanation for that, you know? It could have been Shanann, yes. Leave, you live in Southern California. Ooh, is it nice there right now? I'm going back reading comments, guys. Yeah, Vero Beach is beautiful. Mobile, Alabama. Megan, I can hear your accent now. Yes, let's talk about how we can help fix the craziness, you know what I mean? Yeah. Give me some suggestions, Leave. Like, what is the vendetta against me? You're not hurting me. You're hurting victims of domestic violence and child abuse. That's how I look at it and why I take it so personal. And you guys seen clearly in my comment section, in the community section, where I put up, she didn't even know that that strike was taken off. And she had told her viewers that she did that out of the kindness of her heart. That was not true, guys. Yeah, it's nice out. Right now, you can hear that fan noise. That's my AC. I have my AC on. And it's set on 71 to keep the house cool because it's not cold outside. Oh, you heard it, Misty? She does. I really believe in my heart she got resentful how much my grandson loved me. Her mom committed suicide 2 weeks before our grandson was born. Aww. So her mom committed suicide 2 weeks before the grandson was born. Yeah, because Christina, in those cases, the parent is codependent, usually, and gets extremely jealous when they see that, you know, the child's showing you more attention and love. And they think, well, I'm the parent. Why aren't they showing me that? This has been very good for people and show your love and concern. Oh, thanks, Gigi. My son was adopted and came to me when he was 14. Oh. So Megan's originally from Louisiana. She posted in her community she had proof it was hers. Megan, what proof did she have that it was hers? Just her stating it? Because I'm going to honestly tell you guys what happened. Was I originally had obtained the footage and there was no doorbell, or not doorbell, no lock sound, right, guys? And if you look back on my videos, I'm going, why the hell can't I hear this lock? I'm going to take you guys for a walk as I smoke a cigarette here. So there was no lock sound, okay? Which is right here. It's going to get dark. That's what I was talking about in the video. And I'm going, what the hell, that sound? So I told my husband, I said, I think somebody opened the door for Shanann because I don't hear that noise. And that's the thing. I had recorded hers to send to my husband via text, but then I obtained it myself, but when I uploaded it, I uploaded the wrong video, guys. That's what happened. I uploaded the wrong damn video. So that's probably what she's talking about. And when I said to her, do you want me to take that down then and put my original video up that I made a mistake on? And guys, that was my fault. I made a mistake. Okay? But the whole point is that she never owned that in the first place. I think HLN is who owned it. My attorney told me today that it's actually the rightful owner is HLN. So, in that situation, she doesn't own that content. So what she is saying right now for herself, because that's illegally, you know, doing a copyright and then striking somebody based on stating that that's your original work. That is not your original work. It was uploaded by Colorado police from Vivint, but the rights of it got sold to HLN. So that's, you know, the rights of it got sold to HLN, guys. Shanann's parents, here's what pisses me off, is that Shanann's parents did not want that video out, guys. That was the last time they got to see their daughter alive, you know, so we have to respect that for one. And the only reason why they let that video out and gave HLN the rights to that video was to clear their daughter's name, her reputation, all she had left, guys. So HLN, therefore, got the copyright ownership of that video, guys. So, if you think about it, she's striking people and stating under penalty of perjury of law that she owns the rights to that video. And that is not true. That's not true, guys. Not true. She did a copyright on herself on that dang video. And if you look at all her videos that she actually has up on her page that was brought to my attention today by my lawyer, a lot of her work is copyrighted. Her shit's copyrighted, guys. Come on. And the thing is she also lives in Canada, right? Canada has different laws than the United States of America when it comes to copywriting, okay? So, like I said, I put it in my lawyer's hands. I'm going to let him do what he's got to do. I'm going back on you guys' comments right now. She's talking about you, Rebecca, that you have proof. Okay. I believe I hear that sound. It's my fan. Yeah, like, you know, I hope I don't get a copyright strike right now on this video. This is my actual video, guys. She might hear her fan noise in the background of this video. That you have proof. Yes, Christina, he will, honey. He will, I promise you. Misty, thank God you don't smoke. I'm in Florida, Christina. Yeah, why no sound, although didn't he try to erase history? Yeah, there was no sound because originally, I can't think of the freaking news source that got the footage. They did it with no sound because HLN actually owns the rights of that video. So when a news source reports it, they take out sound. Just like if you see a video, like I just seen a Dr. Phil video up, but the talking in the Dr. Phil video was really slowed down. Well, that's how you get by with doing copyright, and that's where the Fair Use Act gets involved, right? Is that you slow down the actual recording so that it's not matched to the actual voices that come out of it. So that's how you get by with that. However, She does not own the rights to that video. And by striking people, when you clearly are striking them based on the false pretense that you are the copy, or no, that you are the original owner of that said video. That is against the law, guys. Christina, I am in Florida. I think I answered you. Yeah, it was originally uploaded by Colorado police, took from Vivint. And then what happens was, you know, Shanann's family got the rights to it. And then Sandy, you know, gave it to HLN to actually show the world that her daughter was not intoxicated. Daniel Bishop. So glad you're on here. What's up? What's up? Haven't heard from her since Thanksgiving 2016. Aww. Christina, try to get back in touch with her. Honestly, try to get back in touch with her. Daniel, I am so sorry what you are going through with this striker, man. You have no idea. Well, you do have every idea. Yeah, Daniel, tell me your Lord. And did you see, Daniel? Yes, there is international laws. Did you see the email for me, you know, telling me to set you straight? Like, what the hell do you think I am? Well, what do you mean go and set him straight? Yes, it's storm is here, I believe. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because there's so many things that were brought to my attention today by my lawyer on behalf of this copyright striker, we'll call her. And a lot of things that are brought to my attention. If you go back to her videos, she's got about 90 ads, which she's milking it. And not including, she's actually doing recordings with her cell phone of actual copyrighted material and acting like that's her stuff. That to me is, you know, mind-boggling. And then when my lawyer explained to me that that's illegal, she's got all these illegal videos. Like, oh yeah? Okay. Now let's just see what we gonna do about that. Here is some of my proof on my upload date, folks. I wouldn't be arguing my point if I wasn't sure I was correct. Since reporting people, every single person has either removed the footage or had a claim. Yep, my lawyer advised me today to remove any videos pertaining to that doorbell, right? Because if you're going to do a right move on her, remove any of the footage that's hers, you know, and YouTube can't decipher the difference when they get a claim. They don't want the lawsuit. So what happens is YouTube just uses content ID and matches it. So right now, say my video is doing this, right? Now she strikes it because her video is doing this. Well, YouTube's looking at it as, oh, it's the same thing. And YouTube goes with that. But in reality, it's not, because it is the actual legal property of HLN. I know for a fact that she doesn't have a legit leg to stand on. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. Like, I don't think she understands. Like, if you look at her thing, she says she went to law school, guys. No, because you don't even talk like an attorney, first off. And you didn't go to law school. I cannot give legal advice. Went to law school, you would know that your ass is sitting there with your cell phone, sorry for my language, with your cell phone, sitting there, putting it on a movie, like a screen, guys. There's like a screen, and she's putting it on a screen, videoing it. What do you guys think that is? She's copywriting that stuff. That's not her original content. Original content is what I'm doing right now with you guys. Sorry for the smoke, guys. She's doing it just to hurt people. She's out for blood and channels. She has the mindset of taking out her competition. Exactly. And why? If your heart is truly into victims and saying you read your Bible every night, get out of here. You can hide behind God all you want, but that doesn't mean that you are a good-hearted person. Haven't seen it yet. Fact that she don't have. I'm trying to go back reading you guys' comments. No, actually, there's a website up about her that states she is a very prejudiced person and that she is against Asians, allegedly. Allegedly, guys. Yeah, I don't understand why she's out to hurt people. Like, who puts about 90 damn videos like that? Who would even sit and want to watch that, have to wait for all those ads? Like, you're milking it. Original content is like what I'm doing right now. This is my original work, okay? If I want to explain to you about Vivint Doorbell, this is my original work, right? I would own the copyrights of that work. When you are putting a video up about a doorbell that was released to the public, it becomes the public domain, guys. So it doesn't matter where you get it from. It's already out there. It's called fair use. Oh, name. I reached out to my daughter, Rebecca, and I just had the most amazing conversation with her. Thank you so much for what you did for me tonight. Oh, I'm so happy, a name. Oh, my God. That, like, really puts so much... Oh, my God. I'm so happy for you, girl. She had a GoFundMe page. Something about getting her kids back. However, I don't know the issue and where her kids are and why they are not with her. Well, Daniel, look up a website that's called snitchessomething.com. Kay Smalls has a comment, actually, on one of her videos. They have a comment sending you to this website, and it tells you a lot about Miss Copyright Striker. And it's a very interesting website because that website is still up, guys. So defamation, golden snitches. There you go, Misty. That's the name of the website. So go look at that because that website is still up. And if this girl had any type of law degree, that website would not be up right now. Because if anything in that content was not true, it could be called defamation of character and you can be sued. And the website could immediately be taken down. She knows that a lot of people are intimidated by her. I feel like they don't want to fight the claim because they're intimidated. Well, guess what? I'm not intimidated by her. Not by a long shot, okay? I do this for a living. I'm a victim's advocate, so that doesn't intimidate me. I look at abusers all the time, and they don't intimidate me. They can give me the dirtiest looks and everything else, but you're not going to intimidate me. Especially when I know my rights, and I know the law, and I also have a person that is a lawyer. I am not a lawyer, but I do have my best friend that's a lawyer. Yeah, Kay Small posted several videos about her and proof and stuff. Yeah. Y'all should do a group thing against her. I don't know how you can do that. Yeah, guys, check out Golden Snitches. For real. For real. Page asking for like $5,000, guys. For a car. Like, all those ads, like, how greedy can you get that you're making such a fuss about a person, a victim, Shanann, a beautiful, beautiful woman that never deserved this, which her main purpose of her mother letting this footage out was to clear Shanann's name, and you're making it about this is what you own when you don't own nothing, and you're doing copyright strikes on a video that was the main purpose of getting out was to clear Shanann's name. If you really had a good heart, you would say, take my video, spread the awareness, clear Shanann's name, because that's what it's about. And that's what pisses me off, is the heart is not in the right place, guys. Passionate about what happened to Shanann and her babies. And I have been right from the beginning trying to clear her reputation. That's all she has left. When a victim is no longer able to speak, we have to speak for her. And what the copyright striker is doing is she's not showing anybody that she cares about Shanann. She's actually showing who she cares about, and that's herself and money. Money is the evil. What is it? The saying, the evil of all things? Money. She thought she was going to get big because of the video. Apparently it blew up in her face. Yeah, it's gonna blow up. Because I just proved today, guys, when she told her subscribers that she took my video down out of the kindness of her heart. Guess what? She lied to her subscribers, guys, because I showed you the email where she was confused as to why my video was back up. Confused. Well, did you credit me? I showed you guys that. So why would you lie to your subscribers? It is. I mean, it's just sad to me. It's sad because, you know, when you're striking my channel, I'm taking it personal, not for myself, guys. I'm taking it personal because of what I do for victims. You know, and when you're doing this to my channel, you're hurting other victims. If you guys could see these poor little kids' dirty feet and their little battered hearts and their little souls, and they don't even have any toys to play with, guys. They're in group homes, for crying out loud. They don't have nothing. When I tell you they have nothing, I mean nothing. And you're doing this, you're doing it to them, so I take it very personal. And that's where I'm bothered by it. Do whatever you want to me. You can take down my channel and let it disappear. But guess what? It's not going to hurt me, guys. Because my life is okay. Like, you know, I'm not suffering for money. I mean, come on. This is my car, guys. This is my car. I'm not suffering, okay? But other people are. Other people are. And if I can give back, that is what God has wanted me to do. God is the one that wants me to do this. And I truly believe that. And if she was a God-fearing woman, she wouldn't do this to people. She really wouldn't. She just showed me her true characters. And I was a stupid idiot for actually feeling like she was a victim by all these videos that were getting put up of her. I am at fault for being stupid. And I admit that now. I'm an idiot for doing that.